Prepared for Hacks, guys. What is going on? I know I have missed a couple of days on the uploads, but I do have an explanation. So I've kind of actually been running out of Wi-Fi battles due to me kind of alternating streams when I do Wi-Fi battles, and then the introduction of the weekly Wonder Trades that I'm starting. I also went to C2E2 on Friday, so I was gone for a complete day, literally an entire day. I left around 10 in the morning, drove over to Chicago, which took about 2.5 hours. And I got to C2E2. I got to hang out with Roger, Ricky Cocaine, John. I got to hang out with all the guys again, which was really nice. And I spent the whole day there. The C2E2 is like a pop culture event convention, so they have like a bunch of comic books and other things. I didn't buy anything, so I'm kind of upset that I didn't. But so that was my entire Friday. Today's Saturday, so this will be going up on Sunday. So you guys will be seeing this on Sunday. I will be streaming today. I will be streaming OS, but that's besides the point. Definitely go check out the Japan Time podcast if you didn't. It was very funny. It was at C2E2 and it was live, and it was awesome to be able to be there and everything. And I might be up on a Japan Time podcast coming up soon because I do play a lot of PM and I do know quite a bit about the game. So we might be trying to bring PM back more to the scene. But anyways, enough talking here. Jesus. Let's go ahead and hop onto this Wi-Fi battle. This is a battle I had against Red. I am going to go ahead and speed this up because this battle was quite long, but I hope you guys still enjoy nonetheless. So he's going to go ahead and lead off with the Conch Elder, which is not entirely what I expected him to lead off with, but he did it anyway, so I went ahead and led off with my Latios. I ended up going for the Psyshock here, just to try and get some damage off on something, and thankfully he didn't go out into the Mana Buzz. He went out into the Clefable, which is really smart. Because had I just gone for Draco Meteor and he went out into Mana Buzz, he more than likely would have lost the Mana Buzz. But he's going to go for Wish here, and I was thinking he's not going to protect. He's not going to protect. And then he protects. So I'm thinking, oh, Jesus. So it's a Clefable, and this is one of the Pokemon that I have a really hard time dealing with, even when I run Caesar, even when I run Medicham. It's just a nightmare to deal with, even if you have a strong Steel type. He's going to go out on the Mana Buzz here. Great play. Just didn't want to take another Psyshock on the Clefable. I am going to, however, switch out into my Ferrothorn here because I do not want to be dealing with that Mana Buzz, and he makes a great switch out into the Conch Elder, and I got played very, very hard there. I got outplayed very, very hard, and he made it work, and I fell right into his hand. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out to my Zapdos here, predicting the Drain Punch, and that is exactly what he does. Only taking a little bit of damage, which is really nice. And neither of us have set up any hazards yet, which makes it very easy for me to switch around and just kind of play until I can switch to the right Pokemon that I need to switch to. So there were a lot of switches, especially early game here. Just trying, it's kind of like a fight to gain momentum. My Politoed did get frozen there, but I do have Scald, so it's not an issue that I am frozen. But like I said, it's a lot of switching, and you just kind of have to know what your opponent's going to do, know what they're trying to do, and you have to play around it. I do go for the Psyshock there, and he makes a great play, goes out into the Mana Buzz. I stay in, go for another Psyshock, predicting, or not predicting, but kind of thinking that he might switch out into something else, and I get punished very, very badly for it. So I lost my Latios there, unfortunately, but I am going to go out into my Ferrothorn here, and he's going to be switching out into the Conch Elder. I get a free Leech Seed off, which is great. I think I end up going for Protect on this next turn here just to get a little bit of extra damage off on this Conch Elder. And it's probably not going to matter in the long run because he does have Drain Punch, but damage is damage, and the more that I can get off, definitely the better. I am going to be switching out here. Do not want to be taking a Drain Punch. Going to switch out into my Napelni, my Medicham, and he actually ends up going for the knockoff, which is really great because I almost went out into Zapdos, but I thought, Medicham's a Psychic type. I'll be able to live with Drain Punch no matter what. But he ends up switching out in the Mana Buzz here. I am going to be Mega Evolving, and I am going to be going for Drain Punch. And just look at how crazy this damage is. Drain Punch on a Mana Buzz, and it does like 45%. That is outsane. Outsane? What am I saying? That is insane. I'm going to go for an Ice Punch here. Don't get the kill, unfortunately, and he's going to be able to get a Roost off, which is really, really unfortunate. I am going to be switching out here. Foul Play, although it is neutral, can still definitely hurt a Medicham, so I am going to be switching out. I end up going out into my Ferrothorn here, and he ends up going out into his Politoed, which is fine with me. There isn't too much that Politoed can do to Ferrothorn. You can Ice Beam, you can Perish Song, you can do all that sort of stuff, but he's going to end up switching out to the Ludicolo here. I do end up going for the Leech Seed. I really wish that I went for a Layer of Spikes because it just would have been an extra turn that I would have had to switch out into something else. He ends up going for the Focus Blast. Of course, I'm going to be living because I am Ferrothorn, and I am going to be getting my first Layer of Spikes up, which is definitely going to help. It's not a big difference with one layer of spikes, but damage is damage, and obviously the more you can get off, the better. Now I ended up going for Protect there just to get a bit of little extra health back with the leftovers. Gonna switch out into the Zapdos here to take the Focus Blast, and he actually ended up missing, which is really good for me. But I'm going to be switching out here, predicting his Ice Beam, and he's just going to go out into the Politoed. And again, we're kind of back to the same issue of just switching around. What I'm trying to do right now is just mainly stall at the rain so that the Swift Swim on this Ludicolo is gone. Going to go out into my Scizor here. He ends up going Focus Blast. Thankfully, he missed because I would have taken about 50% more than likely from that, give or take. I didn't calc, but I'm just assuming. But I end up going... did I U-turn there? I think I U-turned. Or I might have just hard switched predicting the Scaldor had a pump from the Ludicolo. But anyways, I end up going out in the Politoed. He makes a switch out into the Conkeldurr. I go for the Scald just to thaw out. Thankfully, I didn't burn this thing. Had I burned this Conkeldurr, it would have been a very, very bad time for me because he's more than likely Guts, and that just would have been a bad day. He is going to be getting the knockoff off on the Zapdos here, which is kind of unfortunate, but I do have Roost, so it's not really that big of an issue. Discharge will be enough to take the Conkeldurr out, and it's a date. He's going to go out into the Ludicolo here. No rain. He's actually going to end up double switching out. I don't know if he just forgot about that, you know, him not having rain, or I don't know. Maybe he thought that it would force a switch on me. And he actually does end up forcing a switch on me, and I'm going to be going on out into my Scizor here. Now, I stay in just to get U-turn damage off, and I get punished for it. I do get burned. This is why I hate red Scizors, because they just get burned more often than green ones. At least, you know, it's a personal thing for me. I feel like the red ones get burned more than the green ones, so make sure you're using a green Scizor if you don't want to get burned. But I am going to be going for the Thunder Punch here. I don't know if he thought that his Politoed would have been able to live that, or if he just wanted to go for Protect, get an extra turn off. I don't know, but he's definitely going to be dying from that Thunder Punch. I am going to be switching out here into my Politoed, my own Politoed. He's going to be going for Scald. I knew that I would be able to live. Thankfully, no burn this one. He is going to be going for a Giga Drain here, and he's actually going to get quite a bit of HP back from that because my Politoed is running max HP, so it's a little unfortunate that I let him get so much health back. But then again, he does have a Life Orb, so he's going to be taking damage every time he goes for an attack. Now I go out on my Zapdos and then double switch back out to my Scizor to kind of absorb this Ice Beam here. Now Scizor obviously being burned, it doesn't really matter what happens to it at this point. However, it still would have been nice to have my Scizor around to deal with that Clefable later on. He is going to be able to take me out with another Scald. And that is the end of my Scizor, and it's really unfortunate because I didn't necessarily need my Scizor, but it would have been nice to have. Now I can go out into my my Medicham very safely here, just go for Drain Punch, and he is going to be going out into the Manabuzz here, and like I said, damage is damage, and this Manabuzz is losing quite a bit of health, and one more Drain Punch is actually going to be enough to take this Manabuzz out. Now, I ended up going for Drain Punch there instead of like Thunder Punch or Ice Punch, just because I know that he's wearing a Rocky helmet, but the more HP that I have, the better. He's going to be going out on the Metagross here, and this is kind of where I thought I was going to lose. I thought this Metagross was actually going to end up sweeping my entire team, so I actually stay in, go for Drain Punch just to get damage off, because I knew that I think we speed tie before he Mega Evolves, but he stays in, goes for Zen Headbutt, barely live. I'm feeling that he's going to be going for Bullet Punch here, and he actually doesn't. He goes for the Meteor Mash, and I don't know if he's not running Bullet Punch or if he, misclicked. I don't know. But he went for Meteor Mash, got a crit, and it took out my Ferrothorn. Thankfully, he did not get an attack boost. He actually ended up missing the Zen Headbutt there, so I am going to be able to take the Metagross out with a Heat Wave. However, I definitely should have clicked Discharge there. Discharge would have been enough to kill there, and it's 100% accurate, whereas Heat Wave is not. Now he's going to go for an Ice Beam here, easily going to be taking out my Zapdos, but I thought that having Ferrothorn would have been better than having my Zapdos, and that may or may not have been true. I think if I would have sacrificed... Wait, did my Ferrothorn die? Yeah, it died to the Meteor Mash. Never mind, what am I saying? All I have left is this Medicham. It's Medicham versus Clefable. He goes for the Protect just to get a little bit of health back with the leftovers, and I know that Bullet Punch is going to kill at this point. I would have needed a crit with the Bullet Punch to be able to win. He's going to be able to finish me off the Dazzling Gleam, and that is a good game. So I did end up losing that match 1-0. Very good battle against Red. Very long battle, but nonetheless, it was still a very good one. But like I said, guys, I apologize for the lack of uploads lately. I'm actually working on something Not really super secret, but I am working on something, a pretty big video. I should be able to have it out in a couple of days here. I've been kind of taking my time with it, but I want to get it out at the same time. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. If you're new here, definitely stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, guys, because it does definitely help me out. But like I said, new video coming to you guys soon. It's going to be very good, and I think you guys are going to like it quite a bit. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you guys back again tomorrow. May the hacks be with you guys. Peace out.